And welcome to week 5 of RSFFL Live. I'm your co-host, Robert Harris.
Quincy Avery.
And special guest host, Brandon Childs.
All right, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Childs. Guys, another great week last week. I mean, we got undefeated teams went down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we had RD Puros and all the board went down last week. We got guys skyrocketing up, like we said, and guys sticking to the bottom. All right. Been a great week, another busy week in the league office. I mean, boss of all bosses, man. The Houston Hustlers owner said it best. I mean, they live out their suitcase. I mean, he's shipping them out. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what kind of thing he's running there, but he just traded Fred Jackson to Wham Bam. Thank you, Cam. He traded Fred Jackson and Greg Zurling, first time ever. I think a kicker's been traded for Antonio Brown. And then he made a trade with SWAT Kings for Jordy Nelson. He traded Dwayne Ball and Malcolm Floyd.
Whew. I've never seen a receiver get traded after putting up 19 points just the other week.
He's got no compassion, and he hates waiting.
I mean,
Ho said it best like this.
What Jose go?
Got no compassion and he hates waiting.
Hey, that's his guy too. So I guess that's what it is. But hey, you know, keep guys. You keep making moves, and on to. Well, we'll look back real quick, and we'll look back at week 4. All right, on to our
weekly favorite, Cellar Dwellers.
Yeah. Well, before we do the Cellar Dwellers, we forgot our great sponsors this week.
Oh man, how could we forget? And I'm a little under the weather here, so one of our great sponsors is NyQuil. They came out, supported, showed some love, sent some products my way, and I just want to give a special shout out to you guys.
All right, and we also have our great folks in Dasini. All right. Well, the Dasini water. Dasani. All right.
And we also got our first over at Chunky Campbell Soup. So good, tastes like mom made it. Thank them for showing us love today.
Well, we'd like to thank our sponsors once again, but now let's take a look back at week 4.
Let's go to our Cellar Dwellers. We had a standout cellar performance from Coach's Cadets. That means they were at the bottom of the bottom, okay? They had auto performance from Darren McFadden. We'd like to know where you are. We did 3-point performance. That's not going to get it done. Stevie Johnson, 2 points. That won't help you win anything. And, I mean, he had a strong showing from his defense, but nothing other than that. And then we got 2 other people joining this week in the cellar. The Houston Hustlers. 90 points, will not get it done. You saw a lot of struggles. You came out and lost to a team who didn't play their best game, and it really looks bad on your part. And a special entry to the Cellar Dweller is my good friend over at All Aboard. Jimmy Lane with 91 points. You made all those trades. You really took a sucker, and you took advantage of him, and you're coming out with a short and a stick. All right? Once again, I would just like to know your stick is shortened. You got your stick shortened. No homo.
Week, man.
Every week.
Come on,
the
guy.
no homo moment of the week. Now we're going to go straight into the high flyers. Man, what can I say? Hey, I put up 127. This guy still beat me by double figures. So
Hey, I called that too. I said he was going to explode this week. I called that.
140 he put up. Michael Turner with a standout game, caught his first ever receiving touchdown.
Yeah.
Put up 26 points. Also had a defense who put up 36 points.
Santonio
Holmes gave him 8. You know, on the fumble recovery and the touchdown.
Nothing you can do about that.
Nothing you can do. Stephen Ridley showed why he was a hot trade commodity out here on the streets. He put up 22 points. And there you go. Nobody else really stood out. Dwayne Bowe with 19.
He's gone.
Now he's gone. You know, so this guy's moving around, making big moves. Hey, I can't say anything about any other trade that he's made because obviously his last trade worked. So right. I'm not going to speak ill will about him. But hey, 140. I think I would have stuck for at least another week. But I guess you got to trade while the iron's hot. You got to cook it while the iron's hot.
Right. Well, yeah, congratulations to your team. The 127 performance. That's one of the top performers of the year. Not the top, but it's in the high 120s. Yeah. It deserves recognition.
Well, I appreciate that.
But yeah, that was our Cellar Dwellers and our High Flyers. And look back at last week at our picks. As you know, our co-host Quincy and I are doing picks of the other year. So right now, we both went 4-1 last week. Season record 7-3, and he's 8-2. Now let's look forward to this week. We have a lot of big matchups, all right? And a lot of, if you excuse me, if my tone changes, all right, as we start talking about these matchups of this week. But we'll start it off with what we all think is the matchup of the week. with Wham Bam Thank You Cam and Who Dat. All right, they say Who Dat. All right, well, I'll start it out. I'm gonna go with they say Who Dat. I mean, I always say it's about Cam. Cam's playing the Seattle defense, you know, and Andre Johnson on Monday Night Football. I think Drew Brees at home. I think it's gonna be a big game for Drew and Who Dat this week.
I'm gonna go with they say Who Dat as well. Pretty much the same reasons. Don't trust Cam against that Seattle defense. They got a stellar squad over there.
I'm gonna go with Wham Bam Thank You Cam, man. I am a big Cam believer. Had a pretty good game, although he lost the game in real life. Put up maybe 30 points in the fantasy world. I think he's gonna do the same thing. He obviously sets one of my players back because he runs so much on the goal line, and I think Cam's gonna have a big time running this game. He's gonna get outside the pocket. I'll see another 26 to 30 point performance out of Cam.
Well, if it happens, I mean, it's gonna be a good game regardless. Our second game, we have Team Wood Paws versus Houston Hustlers. Laughable?
Laughable.
Oh, well, Houston Hustlers.
Houston Hustlers.
Houston Hustlers. And from what I'm looking, I'm feeling a cellar dwell performance from Team Wood.
Greg Jennings out. You know, I mean,
his team actually looks pretty solid. But I'm just not a Jay Cutler. Not really sold on Ahmad Bradshaw quite yet. Cleveland defense is a lot better than people give him credit for. But Matt Forte is still coming back off injury, although I think he's going to do pretty well against that Jacksonville defense. But I just got to go with Houston Hustlers.
All right, in our third game, we got the SWAT Kings versus the Albany Imperials. This was really close to being the game of the week as well.
Yeah.
This is a tough call for me, but I'm going to go with the Albany Imperials. Coming off it doesn't get any more devastating than the loss he faced. When, Des Bryant had his shoulder pads off, and I would say he comes back in the game for a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
And literally a 2-yard pass for a 2-point conversion, get 2 points, ball game. Goodness gracious. But I think RG3 versus the Falcons is going to face his first adversity of the season this week. And then, Dwayne Bowe, a new acquisition for SWAT Kings, he's playing against the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm going with the Puros on here.
I'm going to take Puros as well. Don't like RG3 against that Atlanta Falcons defense. And Chris Johnson's got a tough task going against that Minnesota Vikings, who've been selling against the run.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with SWAT Kings. He has just traded out Jordy Nelson. He'll be bringing in Dwayne Bowe and Malcolm Floyd into that offense. So I think he's going to put up some nice numbers. Dwayne Bowe is the king of the late trash minute touchdown, as he scored all 3 of his touchdowns during a blowout.
Right.
So I feel like them playing against who they're playing against this week, he will get some of them points again this week.
All right, in our fourth game, we got the Bosses versus All Aboard. That's the controversial trade beginning of the season. Now they're facing each other.
Right.
I'm going to start off again. I'm going for All Aboard. I think that Rodgers is starting to heat up. I think Wes Welker is heating up.
Yeah.
I think Percy Harvin has been hot. I think McCoy is heating up. I think his guys are starting to get tuned up and ready to go. And then Boss, as we talked about in the production room.
Right.
He only has one receiver.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he realizes this, but that trade's not going to go through until Tuesday.
Yeah.
So the trade with the Wham Bam, the other one's going to go through.
Yeah.
The trade with Wham, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Both the one's going to go through and not the other. But all right.
Don't think front office really thought that trade through, and I'm also going to go with All Aboard for that simple reason. He's going to be left with just Jordy Nelson as a receiver.
What you said, Jerome Simpson?
Yeah.
What team does he play on?
Cincinnati?
Maybe the Vikings?
Maybe Vikings. I don't know. But, yeah, so he's only going to have Jordy Nelson to play at the receiver. So I'm going to have to go to All Aboard also.
Now, if there's one team that I hate picking in favor of is All Aboard. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to do that. You really hamstrung me here, boss of all bosses, with your one receiver in Jerome, what's-his-face. So we're going to go with, unfortunately, I'm with All Aboard on this one.
All right, then we'll go to your game on the Childs. We got ATS Brady Bunch versus Hen Dog Sushi Smackers. I think I'm looking at Hen Dog's roster, and he looks like he's facing a little adversity this week. He has some buys and some tough matchups. And the Brady Bunch, your guys are heating up. Colson coming off a huge game. Hardline coming off a huge game. Brady heating up. It looks like your team is about to take a turn for good here. I'm going with the Brady Bunch here.
And I'm going to have to go with the Brady Bunch simply for the fact that Hen Dogs, City Smackers, may not be able to field the team this week.
He's the same position as Boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just decimated by
Call me
buys and injuries is really putting him in a bad spot. So I'm going to have to go with ATL's Brady Bunch. What you got?
Oh, coming up to our next matchup, we have our two hosts here. The coaches, general manager of the here coaches cadets, and our guy over here with the
NyQuil this week. You're gonna be sick. You're gonna be sick after Monday night. I'll tell you that.
Hey, you see, it's heating up already. The matchup hasn't even started. I don't think. I think we got one. Coach has one going tonight with Ryan Williams with his new acquisition. And over here at Ground and Pound, I think he's starting off Sunday. It's going to be a big matchup. So, Coach, you have a lot of buys looking at your roster, a lot of buys this week. So how do you feel about the guys who you do have playing?
Well, it's simple. All right. Adversity introduces you to you. I mean, that's the message that we've given our team this week. We didn't anticipate the start that we've had this season. Okay. A lot of underachievement from Darren McFadden. Darren McFadden has been the talks of a lot of trade-offs in the front office. Okay. And I'm going public with it right now. And he's going to have to show up. All right. I mean, basically everybody's on the block on our team. And we're underperforming. We're underperforming in a good way. You know, we're scoring 90 points, playing bad, which I'll take. But it's just not getting it done. Okay. And this is the week where the guys are going to step up. They want to be a cadet at the end of this week. Also,
I'm looking here at your roster. You have some pretty tough matchups on top of having a lot of guys out. You got Matt Schaub going up against the Jets, who, although missing Revis, but they also have some solid corners. But who I'm really looking at who is the Brandon Bolden, who's put into your running back number 2.
Well, that's all we got. All right? I mean, it's nothing simple. That's all we have. But Brandon Bolden, he scored a touchdown 2 weeks in a row. Okay. I mean, I'm very excited about what he's doing in New England. He scored a touchdown 2 weeks ago, and he all of a sudden got a lot of carries last week. And I think that William in New England, I think he's starting to gain some confidence, and I think he's going to share the load with Stevie.
Okay. Over here to the Ground and Pound.
Oh, how you doing?
So I've been did some research. I've been out calling around to different owners, and they say although your record is good, that your competition has not been real subpar. You have points against you are second lowest in the league.
I believe there's a team on Albany who's got
one more lower. So how do you feel about that?
My team kind of plays at the level of competition. Okay. I had about 40 or so points in on the bench last week. Okay. I wanted to get some guys some rest. I didn't think that they had to play. Vince Jackson had a bye come up this week. Okay. So I wanted to get him a little extra rest, 2 weeks worth of rest. He ended up playing his tail off. Thought he was going to take a little chill, but you know, things like that happen with our organization. We just want wins. We're not concerned about how many points you score or what the situation is. We just want to come out with a W.
Okay. See your standout player. All your players are receivers. Everybody's playing well. Your running backs, but your standout player is Matt Ryan. What do you have to say about him? And his matchup this week with the horrible Washington Redskins.
Yeah, the Washington Redskins couldn't stop a cold in the middle of summer. Okay. Matt Ryan's been playing phenomenal, but he gave me this foreword before the season. He said, you know, you should give me a draft shot. You should look at me. I had a couple other quarterbacks on the roster and got those guys out of here because I knew what Matt Ryan could bring to the table. And I know he's going to perform this week. Looking at a 35, 37-point performance.
Hey, you heard it here first, here on RSFFL Live, with our interviews, our first ever head-to-head, face-to-face interview. And as we're going with our pick, I'm suspecting at least a 20-point victory from Ground and Pound this week. Just going off the numbers, I know Coach is expecting his guys to step up and overperform, but I feel like as long as Ground and Pounds put up their regular performance, they'll be okay.
Go ahead and put this guy to sleep, guys. Give him the NyQuil.
That's what you're going to need out of the money. You're going to need that because he won't talk. Don't expect to hear from him until the next show next week, all right? That's what you can expect from you, all right, buddy?
All right, sounds good.
Yeah. All right, it's game face. He's giggling over here. It's nothing going to be funny, all right? But guys, hey, we're back. Excuse me. Sorry for that. But hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in this week. Appreciate you, Owner Childs. All right, we got our RSFL Rock Stars real quick as we're toning down. Number 5, we got the Albany Puros. Number 4, we got the SWAT Kings. Number 3, we got Wham Bam Thank You Cam. 2, we got Ground and Pound. And 1, we got They Say Who That. So congratulations to you guys. Thanks for the participation. We had 11 teams participate this week in the poll. Appreciate that, guys. But we'll sign up. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one.